Hello friends, before jumping into Angular roadmap, let's first quickly understand why roadmaps are important. I always give this example. Imagine there are total 100 concepts in Angular. Now you pick a random Angular project and it uses 30 concepts approximately out of the total 100. Then you pick another random project and it uses 25 concepts. But, see, around 20 of the 25 concepts are the same and common concepts as same as the first project one. Okay, so this pattern repeats across most projects and most technologies and even in interview questions. The whole point is you have to master only 20% of the concepts which are used 80% of the time in your application. Getting my point? So do not make the mistake of trying to learn everything, all the concepts, and then remember nothing. Be a smart learner. Now the question is, what are those 20% concepts in Angular which we must know? For that, today I am going to show you the Angular roadmap from beginner to expert in 7 levels and focusing on the super important concepts. If you are new to Angular, then this roadmap will guide you through all the steps and important concepts to become a Angular pro. If you already know Angular, then this roadmap will help you to identify the concepts which you are missing in your Angular knowledge. And if you are preparing for interviews, then you are in right place. I will mostly focus and will highlight the concepts which are extremely popular in Angular interviews. Okay, now to maximize the benefit from this video, I have got a challenge for you. As we go through the roadmap, just note down the concepts which you do not know, so that by the end of the video you will have a list of concepts which you should learn to become a Angular pro. Okay, and yes, I will just name the concepts and I will not be going the details of concepts because this is a roadmap, this is not a tutorial. Okay, so let's start with the level 1 of the Angular roadmap. Level 1 is Angular basics and project setup. So let's start with the basics of Angular. First of all, you should know and understand what Angular is and how it is different from the Angular JS. Okay, then understand what are the advantages of using Angular. Because if you don't know the advantages of Angular, then why you are using it? Why don't you use some JavaScript, React, something else? Okay. After this, explore the TypeScript basics. Okay, basics first. Basics in the beginning. TypeScript basics, like what is the difference between TypeScript and JavaScript? TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. Okay, so understand the differences. Then understand the TypeScript essentials, basic, like the basic syntax, the variables, the data types. Then second, functions and arrow functions, very important. Now once you understand this basics and you have a good idea about the Angular also, then come back and explore some OOPS concepts in TypeScript. This is slightly advanced. Okay, and yes, these OOPS concepts you can learn later and don't rush to learn it, as quickly as possible. Next, it is time to set up your Angular first project. Here you have to learn how to use the npm, how to install the node, the CLI tools to create the Angular projects. Then get familiar with these files, Angular JSON, main and index files, which are the main files of the Angular project. These are the main files. Okay, and finally have a high level idea about what is JIT and what is AOT compilation, and do the comparison, means high level. Okay, great. So that is the first step of your Angular journey. And from interview point of view, these these topics which I have pointed are give more focus to them. Okay, now let's go to the next level, which is Angular architecture. Okay, this is level 2. Level 2. In level 2, first explore about the components. They are the heart, soul, building blocks, everything of your Angular application. Understand how to structure and how to use those components. Okay, then get comfortable with the selector and templates, because that is how you will display the dynamic content via Angular, right? And do not forget about the component lifecycle hooks like ng init, ng on destroy. There are others, but these are the main ones. Okay, then basically these hooks will help you in creating big and complex components, right? Okay, these are components. Then we have modules, and you know every Angular app has at least one module, and that is this app module file. So it is like the main character of your Angular application movie. Then learn about how the Angular application loads, and while the application loading, what are the roles of these files: index, app root, and main ts file. And then in addition you can also explore this bootstrap module here. Okay, now next are the directives on the list. So they are like the magic sticks that make your templates behave the way you want. Okay, so once you understand, then you will be clear of this statement. So directives, you can go for structural directives like ngIf, for, and ngSwitch. And do not forget the attribute directives like ngStyle and ngClass. Remember, I'm only presenting the super important concepts and not all. So note it down if you don't know anything. Okay. Finally, you can also learn the differences between these component, structural, and attribute directives. That's it for level 2. And from interview point of view, these are the 3 topics which are very often asked in interviews. Okay. Now let's jump to the next level 3, which is level 3 about data binding, decorators, and pipes. Before continuing, here is a interview tip. Many candidates ask me they forgot the answers in interviews and then they feel nervous in interviews. One of the top reason is because they prepared so many random questions and at last moment they don't remember anything. Okay, so remember, focus more on the top Angular interview questions instead of all the questions. Prepare less, but prepare solid and prepare smart, so that you can remain confident in the interviews. Now let's continue to the roadmap. So here is our level 3 where we have data binding, decorators, and pipes. Okay, so basically here we will learn how Angular Angular connects everything together. Okay, for that first we have the data binding concept. This is how your Angular component they talk to the DOM by using the string interpolation inside the data binding, then property binding, then event binding, and of course the famous two-way binding with ng model. Okay, so this is data binding main points. Next, dive into the decorators. Think decorators as the labels that help Angular know what file is actually what. Okay, again confusing, but yes, you have to understand this. So here explore the component, injectable, input, output, the main decorators, and they are used too much in real projects also. Then explore pipes, which are sometimes used for filtering the data result. Filters, you know filters, right? So pipe can be used to pipe can be of built-in types provided by the Angular, like we have date pipe, uppercase, lowercase, currency pipe. Okay, or you can make your own custom pipes as per your requirement. Okay, finally, once you are confident with these concepts, then you get some time, then optionally you can explore the chaining pipes in Angular. Okay, so here from interview point of view, this two-way binding and the decorators are super important. Okay, so make sure you have a solid understanding of these two concepts. Alright, so now let's jump to the next level, which is level 4. Here we will cover the services, DI and component communication. Alright, let's begin. Here is level 4. Here first talk about the services. Very important. They are like the backbone of your Angular app. They help you writing the complex big applications which can scale. Okay, scales means can be bigger applications. Okay, now to inject the services into your components, you need to understand dependency injection. Very important concept. Let me give you example. For example, if you are an online customer or you are a component who ordered something from Amazon, then dependency injection is like the delivery boy who brings you the order or service which you ordered. Okay, very short example. Okay, now inside it you can further explore the hierarchical dependency injection and the injectable decorator. Now once your Angular application multiple components are ready, and you injected the services in them, then if those multiple components want to share something with each other, for that we have component communication concept in Angular. Okay, so here you have to learn how to pass data between parent and child components with using the input and output decorators. This is the simplest approach. Then slightly advanced, you will explore the content projection with ng content to pass the content. Finally, explore ViewChild versus ViewChildren and content child versus content children comparisons. Okay, all these concepts are important, but if you are preparing for interviews, then give more focus to these pointed concepts. Okay, these are more important. So that's all about level 4. Now let's go to the level 5. Next, slowly up. So level 5 is about routing, HttpClient and RxJS. Okay, now from here you will make your application more efficient and more accessible. You have created the application in level 4 up to level 4, but now your application will be more efficient and accessible. Okay, for that yes, we need the concept routing, HttpClient and RxJS. First is routing. Routing is crucial for building single page applications. Here you will learn how to configure the router module, routes and router outlet to set up the routing in your components for your components. Okay, and then how to link the components or perform the navigations with router links. Okay, also explore route parameters because they and root guards like can active versus can deactivate to protect the routes from based on your permissions. Okay, just make a note here. I am not going in the detail, so if you don't know anything, just note it down for now. Okay, we will see later what to cover in detail. Okay, next dive into the HTTP client which helps you make the HTTP request and handle the responses. Then you have to explore the reactive programming and RxJS, because if you want to be a great Angular developer, then working on asynchronous data streams is the future. Here start with the RxJS operators like map, filter and merge map. Then observe the observables, and finally compare promises with observables. Now remember, as an Angular developer, we always have to say that observables are better than promises. Okay. Now from interview point of view, routing and observables are super important. Okay. Now let's go to the level 6, which is forms and authentication. But yes, if you want to learn or revise all these Angular concepts in questions and answers formats for your interview, then you can try my top 100 Angular interview questions course, where almost all the concepts are covered in video lectures. Both video course and this book PDF link is also present in the description. So like this candidate who cracked the interviews via my courses, got offer, you can also achieve the success. Now let's again continue with the roadmap. Here is level 6, which is forms and authentication. Here, first understand Angular forms, and inside cover the template driven forms and how to set up, then validate and submit those Angular forms. Okay. Then cover the reactive forms, because they are more capable, more efficient and slightly more complex also. Okay. Here you will use form group, form control and form array to handle more complex forms. After forms, oh yes, you have to learn the form validation also. After forms, we have authentication and authorization. Inside authentication, first you have to understand both these concepts. Then inside you have to explore the JWT authentication. Next, role-based access control. Then explore how to protect the roots by using the auth cards, which is the part of routing also. And how to handle the HTTP requests with HTTP interceptors. Very important. So that's all about level 6. And as I said, from interview point of view, JWT and HTTP interceptors are very important. Okay. Finally, we are at the last level, which is level 7, which is advanced topics and optimization we will talk about. At this point, you are already an Angular developer, okay, who can create applications. But now the advanced topics can make you a great or expert developer. So let's check out what are the topics there, okay. But remember, always learn basics and intermediate concepts first. Very solid you have to be in them. Then only go for advanced topics, okay. Now, to become an expert, first you should explore the performance optimization. Concepts like lazy loading, to load the modules only when needed, which helps reduce in the initial load time. Then change detection in strategies by using the default and on push methods concepts. Then explore the track by functions, okay. Next, explore the micro front architecture. It's an architectural approach for scaling large web applications, okay. Then testing is also a critical skill. So you should learn about the unit testing with the help of Jasmine and Karma, and end-to-end testing with the help of Protector, okay. Next, we have the security. Here, learn the cross-site scripting and basically the types of security threats, okay. And then the best practices to how to avoid those threats, okay, in security. Finally, explore the state management using NGRX to handle the complex application state with the store actions, reducers, effects, okay. I know the list is long and each topic here is like an elephant. Okay, very big. But don't worry, first make sure you are good with the basic and intermediate concepts because 80% in our project we use the basic concepts. Then started exploring these advanced concepts because remember, basic is the foundation knowledge and it is more important than the advanced knowledge. Advanced concepts will be keep on coming, keep on changing, but the basics will mostly remain same, and also they are more asked in the interviews. Okay, all right, so that's it, my friend. Now you have to start walking on this roadmap, but before starting, set the right goal. I always say, do not set a goal like learning Angular, just learning Angular. In this AI world now, learning doesn't matter. Whatever you will learn now will be outdated in next 5 to 7 years, but earning matters. So make sure to monetize your learning as much as possible. So the complete goal like learning Angular and getting the best job and getting a salary hike of 100%. And if you need my Angular course to help you, then you can check out the link in the description. Thank you and all the best for your careers and interviews.